is Matticus Valentine Cole. Happy hump day, Wednesday, middle of the road, middle of the week. I hope you find all the happiness you seek. Alright guys, today's video, I had another request for another social commentary. No, Matt, dear God, we can know all about this shit. What are you doing? Relax. I wouldn't be doing it unless you asked, and I'm glad you did because some things are important to discuss. Now, today's topic revolves around the question that was asked me, which was, Maddie, do you believe in emotional infidelity or emotional cheating? Now, before I start, I got to do the PC liability bullshit and simply say that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. This is just my ability. Everything I'm about to tell you is based on nothing more reliable than my own meandering experience, as quoted, paraphrasing by Baz Luhrmann. So, agree with me, don't agree with me, that's entirely up to you. So, having said that, do I believe in emotional infidelity? Not really. But, I don't know, it's a gray area. I mean, feelings are not actions. And just like in law, you don't get prosecuted or jailed for your feelings. You get judged by what you do, not what you feel. You know, we can't, so for no matter how we're feeling. So in that respect, it's not as horrible as some people make it out to be, that and with a lot of feelings. And though not a damning offense, it is an indication that that your relationship is in trouble. Having said that though, if the emotion does not lead to physical cheating or physical infidelity, then it's not cheating. It's what's commonly known as a crush. And before I started doing this video, I did a little bit of research and I found a couple of definitions to help you understand my point. And let's see, it's like a crush, we all have them. Celebrities, artists, poets, calendar models. And before women are like, no they don't, or men are like, I don't know. Think of it this way. When was the last time you picked up a calendar filled with half-naked firemen and said to yourself, oh good, now I won't forget my luncheon on Tuesday? Right. Anyway, according to dictionary.com, a crush is a verb or a phrase to be infatuated or enchanted with someone, especially to be secretly in love with someone older and more worldly than oneself. And this definition was written around 1913. So people have been getting into crushes since the dawn of time. Okay? Now, that's what I really kind of think what most people who would think in emotional infidelity is, but it's a crush. It's harmless. It's not a big deal. It's just something like we all pineful sometimes. Now, according to Wikipedia, an actual legit emotional affair can be defined as a relationship between a person and someone not their spouse that affects the level of intimacy, emotional distance, and overall dynamic balance in the marriage. The role of an affair is to create emotional distance in the marriage. Notice how that doesn't say anything about people who are dating or even in a committed relationship. Marriage. Now look, I know that's semantics. There are people who have been living together for years and years and years, and the only difference between them and a traditional marriage is the piece of paper that says it's legally so. So I understand that, and I get that. Okay? So what I get from both definitions, it's not the feelings themselves that are malignant. They are what they are, and through discipline and perspective, you can control your feelings. The feelings themselves are a human component that are a part of all of us, and by themselves should not be open to scrutiny or judged harshly by anyone. Anyone, not you. After all, they're your feelings, right? Okay. So where we go from the gray and into the dark abyss of emotional treason two things. These feelings are affecting the love and affection and attention in your primary relationship, a committed relationship. And two, letting those feelings put you on the path where physical infidelity is not only possible, but probable. So basically, look, we all have a crush. I write a lot of erotica on Instagram and a lot of love poetry and, some stuff about death, which is also fun. And so do a lot of poets, and so do actors who do the 50 Shades of whatever, or The Notebook, or whatever. Most art is designed to elicit an emotion, and sometimes the occupational hazard of that is you get a bunch of people who connect with the poetry, or with the work, or the art, or with someone's smiling face, and develop affection. Develop feelings. But showing an emotional appreciation, or even going so far as to having a legit soft spot for somebody else who is not your significant other, that's normal. That's human. We all do it. Even if those of us who don't readily admit it to ourselves, we all do it. I do it. Shit. I mean, I've been in tons of relationships. Well, not tons. Half a ton? Maybe? I don't know. But anyway, I've been in situations where, especially with people who I've met on Instagram, where I took the leap of faith and I decided to get into a relationship. And then when people on my page started saying, Matt, that is so sexy. Matt, you are a hottie. Matt, you are this, blah, 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 blah. And I respond with things like, well, thank you, honey. I appreciate it. And, oh, thank you, baby. I love you too. And blah, 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 blah. Tit for tat. But I'm not getting any tits for my tat. Okay? Some people interpret that as emotional infidelity, but it's not. To me, it's just polite. I'm a poet. When someone gives me appreciation for the work that I do, and I actually manage to elicit the response that I intended whenever I wrote my piece, that to me is not infidelity. That's good job, But if you were to take it to the next level and be, oh, well, thank you so much for that comment, honey. Oh my God, your body too. Oh, I would love to get over there and lick you like a Tootsie Pop. That's a little bit different. But ultimately, a lot of people who claim emotional infidelity are simply people who are insecure in their own relationship. On the flip side, though, as I mentioned earlier, if those feelings remain unchecked and they continue to evolve and develop until ultimately and eventually they get to a point where you're no longer just simply going, oh, what a dreamboat, to, oh, I cannot wait for my husband or my wife to go out of town because I want to get me a plane ticket and fuck the shit out of that man or woman. That's the problem. That's the bad thing. That's the oh shit that happens. Okay, and that's really what we get on for. And here's the thing, though: a lot of people are taking a hell of a lot of shit for the misdemeanor of having a crush when they haven't committed the felony of the physical infidelity. Responding to posts is not emotional infidelity. Having private texting conversations, having phone sex on the phone, doing all that other shit with somebody that is not your committed intended, that is infidelity. That's not showing loyalty. Honestly, when it comes to crushes, people, honestly, I see them as a way to help somebody who is maybe feeling something that they kind of is lacking in their relationship, and for whatever reason, that work or that poem or that calendar or that picture or that selfie or whatever, riled them up a little bit. And most people who are cool people and who are self-aware and, more importantly, have the respect that they need with their significant other, they take that energy and they use it to enhance their own personal relationship with their significance. And those who don't. All right. So, in short, having the feelings, emotional infidelity to me is not a big deal. It's not even, I don't even think it exists as far as having the feelings make you a cheater. It's not what you feel that makes you a cheater. It's what you do. And you've got to be very mindful about where you allow your feelings to go. And if you're not doing that, you're disrespecting your partner and you're disrespecting yourself. Look, everybody makes a mistake and everybody screws up. It's a human thing. Every bit as human as the emotions that we feel that lead to the mistake. But last time I checked, we're all adults. And if you're not an adult, pay attention. You're not responsible for what you feel. You're responsible for what you do. And also, I would also state and submit that sometimes getting that situation kind of gives you a gauge when your significant other starts calling you out on why the hell are you giving all these really cute and loving and complimentary, compliments to people on their selfies or their Facebook page or blah, 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 blah. And you're like, all I said is that she looked sexy in that dress. All I said is that he looked good in that suit. Oh my goodness, you really have gone to the gym a lot. Your abs look fantastic. That to me is not a big deal. Some people have a different opinion on that. Some people have such a fierce cleanliness to their emotional state that any attention, no matter how minute, is considered a betrayal by anybody. That is insecurity. That means you have no faith in your relationship, and that also means you don't really know the person that you're with. You have to be able to know who you're dealing with before you give a committed relationship. And sometimes you have to kind of wonder, it's like, why are they freaking out about this shit? It's not a big deal, and I know what's in my heart when I'm doing it. I know what's in my head when I'm doing it, and I know what's in my head when I'm doing it. And if I know that I am being completely innocent, and if other people know that they're being completely innocent, but they're given the scarlet letter for just either A, being supportive, being creative, or being poetic, you gotta take that with a grain of salt, okay? However, one other thing that may help, and one other thing that I think is extremely important, communication. Ladies, gentlemen, if you're really the kind of cat that really has a problem with people who fawn over celebrities or artists or poets or whatever the source of their crush may be, and you don't tell them that that bothers you, not in an accusing way, not in a judging way, not the, what the fuck, man? Why the hell? You have two eyes and you use both of them to look at that bitch! Not the way to do it. The better way is, hey boo, hey listen, I saw that you gave a few likes and that sort of stuff, and look, I'm not gonna say that everybody, wouldn't want to, whatever with that person and stuff, but it for my personal comfort level, if you would please not do that, that would be really appreciated. I love you. That would work 100% of the time. And if it doesn't, then that dude or that chick is being a dick. Because if someone came up to me and said it to me like that, respectfully, not judgmentally, coming from a very neutral place, and said simply enough and respected me enough and respected themselves enough to simply say that something that I was doing, though innocent in my eyes, is kind of on their eyes, in their eyes, I would respect that and I would alter my behavior. Truly, if you love somebody, what's so hard about saying, oh no, honey, I want only eyes for you? That's not unreasonable, y'all. So make sure that you understand your partner's comfort levels with stuff like that before you engage in your own personal tastes. because you're not just yourself anymore. You're part of a unit, a couple, and you gotta compromise. And compromise does not mean one person wins and one person loses. It means that one person's giving up one part and another person's giving up another part, and you're coming in the middle. Not on one side or the other, but the middle. The fucking middle, man. The middle. If you do that, that's diplomacy. And diplomacy and communication eliminates any kind of infidelity. Communication is key. Because if after you've communicated, if they continue to do the stuff that makes you uncomfortable, then it's time to go. That simple. Because ultimately, having feelings isn't the problem. The problem, in my opinion, is not acknowledging the feelings and continue to letting them grow until you do something that makes you inevitably go, oh shit! Which happens every time. The guilt over having done something that you can't take back happens every freaking time. And if it doesn't, then that person, in my humble, self opinion, does not even know what love is. And I doubt even sincerely that they even have a heart for you to break. Or even have a soul for that matter. Okay? Well, this is some heavy shit for a Wednesday. Oh my goodness. I'm going to simply wrap it up by saying this, you guys. Guys, we are who we are. We feel what we feel. But ultimately, the only thing we have a real choice over is what we do. And if what somebody else whatever somebody else is doing, if you love them, tell them. Don't throw it in their face. Take them by the hand. You attract more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. But apparently bullshit attracts a lot of flies too. I'm just saying. Okay? Talk about it. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Have enough trust and faith in the relationship to give it a neutral sounding. Because if you can't do that, maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship. If they can't reciprocate your neutral and non-judgmental request, maybe it's not working either. And also, if you've actually put yourself in a situation where you find yourself getting in crushes a lot more often than normal, or you find yourself in a situation where that crush is actually developing to a much higher place than you need to, talk to your spouse about it. See what's lacking in your relationship that allowed those feelings to cultivate, and try what you can do to fix it. And if you can't do it on your own, well, there's counselors and life coaches and friends who have your best interest at heart that can give you advice and help you out. Take advantage of that. Do not do anything on your own if you can't handle it on your own. That's what the best part about being in a relationship is. You've got help. All you got to do is ask for it. Help with it. Okay? All right, you guys. Well, that's it for me. Have a happy Wednesday. And, guys, be kind to each other. And let's have a little faith. And also, I'm going to say this. Learn to be forgiving. We all screw up. And when we have enough courage to apologize, we all hope and pray for forgiveness. And you can't expect forgiveness if you aren't first willing to give it. Okay? All right, you guys. That's it for me. Keep the shadows at your feet and forever out of your heart. I loves you. I appreciate you. Latest.